I'm Mark Z, and you're watching Thorin, the best interviewer behind Travis Gafford.
Can you guess what delicious energy formula this video could be brought to you in association with? I won't give you time to answer because it's obvious. Game of Supps, isn't it? That's a delicious one. Cherry limesicle, one of my favourite flavours. Really sweet cherry. If you prefer a sour tangy cherry, maybe try the Sakura Splash GG, which is a sour cherry flavour. Or if cherry's not your thing in general, you can always just flip the script and try something like lemonade. It's really obvious what that one tastes like. It's one of the best lemonade flavours, I think, on the market. Get 10% off anything on the Game of Supps website using my code Thorin, Thorin. Right, if you're not aware of where we are in the chronology, this is part 3. This is still going to be Thorin versus Reddit. By the way, other parts of the Rekkles fan backlash meltdown will then spill over into my other series. We'll do Thorin versus YouTube, petty grievances, all sorts of different pieces of content we can do. So what I thought we'd do first of all is keep it Thorin versus Reddit. And here's another one, which is, this is the thread when the clip was posted that Rekkles had gone offline and cancelled his scrims. So again, just like that massive Reddit thread I already showed you with comments that had thousands of points, despite the fact they hadn't seen the video yet, this thread was before people saw the video. So get ready for how mental these fans are and how crazy disingenuous they are with their incredibly strong opinions about a video they haven't watched yet. So already you notice the point, 1240 in terms of points, and then at top comment, 746 points. I don't honestly know much about the past Rekkles situation. Pause. In that case, wouldn't be the place to comment on it, right? If he'd done really heinous things that was agreed by like a majority of former teammates and coaches and figures in his orgs. In that case, you wouldn't have any fucked up opinion about that because that'd be really inappropriate, wouldn't it? Again, it would be like if someone had committed a crime, could be a violent crime, a sexual crime, and your logic was, look, I don't know what they were doing the last 10 years when you said they did this crime, but I've been around them recently at the local fucking arcade, and they are just a cool guy who plays Time Crisis, so I don't really know why anyone's bringing this up. So get ready for the nonsense we're going to read now. So I don't honestly know much about the past Rekkles situation, but he now, while he's not even a pro player and is by definition playing on stream, almost wrestling style where he knows people are watching him, he now is like one of the most calm, chill people and often seems to choose his words carefully and brings good harmony and vibes to the team. Pause. Okay, let's see where this is going. If he was a shithead before, then that was before. Right, okay. So if you committed a crime or you were a terrible piece of shit in the past, well, that's in the past. Why would we need to reference that? You wouldn't ever need to be contrite, to make up for what you've done in the past, to openly admit what you have done, to actually address criticism of what you've done. No, you wouldn't have to do any of that because it's in the past. So why are we bringing that up? By the way, should we see if in all these threads they hold me to a standard of whatever's in the past doesn't matter. It's just about what you're doing now. Oh, no, they don't ever do that, do they? They don't ever do that, do they? So he clearly hasn't shown to be now or with T1. Right now, we're pretending because of on-camera Los Ratones scrims that we now know how Rekkles was behind the scenes in T1. Because remember, my entire video is about what was going on inside his teams. That's what the whole context of my video is. Well, we haven't even seen this video yet. But since on stream with Los Ratones and in the rare media moments you've seen with him as part of T1 as a sub, not even a real player on their team, he was on the Challenger team, obviously, we're going to pretend that actually, that almost proves he didn't do it all. But get ready, because remember, this is going to be really interesting, because remember what I told you? They already told me before this video came out that it was all going to be nonsense and made up, and therefore why would they then need to build this like beachhead that he's really cool now, that he's changed now? Changed in what way? What he was doing before was fine, and he was the greatest guy ever, and he never did any of it anyway. He didn't do nothing, did he? Yeah, people can change. Notice I can never change, though, by their logic, but keep track of that. If they recognise their shitty behaviour and don't do it anymore, it's fine and respectable, right? If you just recognise that your behaviour was shitty and stop doing it, you never have to pay for your crimes. It's just fine and respectable that hey, actually, that was really fucked up what I did. Oh, well done. What you've just said is fine and respectable. You never need to make good on that. Meanwhile, by the way, I'm told and lied to that I've bullied a teenager since he was like 15 years old and lied horrifically about him, even though I showed you in episode 1, and we even made a short video. I'll probably link it in the description of every one of these episodes. I showed you every tweet I made about Rekkles from like 2012 to 2017. There wasn't a single one in there that would even vaguely come close to bullying. It was pure gaslighting from a fan base called Rekkles fans, who are one of the shittiest sets of human beings I've ever come across on the internet. And that's saying a lot because I've been on Reddit for many, many years. As in, these are people who've proven by their actions over 10 plus years, they give a fuck less about anyone autistic unless it's Rekkles. In fact, if you're autistic and you're not called Rekkles, they're the number one set of people that are coming to try and hound you to potentially end your own life in Minecraft. That's who they are. And by the way, 1 second before they heard Rekkles say he had an autism diagnosis, they thought autism was one of the funniest insults you could say about someone on the internet. That's who Rekkles fans are. But here's the genius of my video. Before my video came out, it was easy to just think a Rekkles fan is just a K-pop stan, aren't they? They're just a fan of him as a person, or they just like boring Swedish conservative ADC player. No, no, no. What I've now been able to show via these threads and the response is now a Rekkles fan is someone who represents the dregs of humanity. They are someone who supports abusers over their victims. They support people who bully over the people who were bullied. They support people who fuck over people for no good reason and get them fired over the people who were fucked over and got fired. They support bullying autistic people over actually making good on your words and behaving in a manner you think would be constructive towards autistic people. They support the idea nobody needs to ever pay for the consequences of their actions unless you talk about Rekkles. And they also support the idea, this is probably the grossest one of all, that everything that you don't like about a person that they did that was wrong is totally fine because it's autism, a magic word that writes it all away. But everything you don't like about someone else can never be autism. That's the sort of person a Rekkles fan is. That's cool, because before you were just a dickhead who I disagreed with. Now you're actually just a terrible human being. So I'm glad you wear that as a badge of honour and that you actually hope that everyone hates me, because I hope in doing so, it will be remembered forever the context of the video I made. And spoiler, I won. Now you all, to a man, have had to retcon your whole history on Rekkles, that it doesn't matter that maybe he was an asshole, or maybe what he did was fucked up, or maybe he lied, or maybe he hinted scrims, or maybe... Now suddenly that it's wide open that he could have done all these things because he's just better now. He's got a diagnosis. He's probably sorry. And besides on stream, he seems really cool now. I win. Before that video, you all thought he was the greatest guy of all time. Never said boo to a goose. Greatest teammate of all time. One of the true captains and spiritual voices who lift up. Now you all know that's fucking absolute fugazi bullshit. I won. Even you were impacted by my video. You were influenced. I changed your view of Rekkles. I win on this one, motherfucker. So let's keep going. This video claims it starts at 2013 already. No. What I explained was that the video goes from Rekkles' entire career, because I had people and sources through his whole career. And as I expressed many, many times, not everything those people said was negative. So actually, doing what people pretend they want me to do, which is give a fair and balanced perspective, I gave all perspectives of people I talked to. But no, now we're going to use the fucked up gaslighting logic that because I've put things in there from 2013, I'm saying that they were very negative back then, and everything in the video is all negative about him, even though that's what you're saying the video is, just a hate video with nothing good about him. Absolute lie, provably not the case. I tell a brilliant story about him carrying a game on Civer in 2023. I talk about how in 2015, 2016, people actually liked him and thought he was just a fun-loving kid who was a bit antisocial. But no, let's continue the lie, 450 points, which was said en masse and is now going to be one of the defining lies factually about my video. The lie goes like this. Your entire video was just you about how he was horrible when he was 15 or 16, because as it says there, Rekkles was only 16 in 2013, one of the best players ever at the time. Right, the idea he was ever, and also an undiagnosed autist. These people don't give a fuck about autism, by the way. Ignore it. They are gaslighting you. Just sad a 40-plus-year-old doesn't have the empathy or mental capacity to realise he's just a disease. Right, so again, by the way, all day long. You imagine their rhetoric they're using right now, by the way. By the way, I'm evil for exposing that dozens of Rekkles' former colleagues think he's a piece of shit and one of the worst humans they've ever worked with in the game. But no, me exposing that means I'm the abusive person, and I'm abusing who? Oh, the one who did all the abuse. That makes me the abuser. And why am I going on about it? Say people who go on about my age and how long I've been going on about this topic. There's no rhyme or reason. So by the way, that whole thing where they go, your whole video was just you about a teenager. I pointed this out before. I give many stories in that video of when Rekkles is 19 years old, 20 years old, 21 years old. There's some banger stories when he is 25 and one of the people he is harassing is a 19-year-old player who'd never played in the LEC at the time. But notice that's not how it would work if you were to frame it via their comment. Their comment is that Rekkles is an eternal 16-year-old / teenager. I am permanently an evil Snape-esque man who's just bullying him for no reason. And everything I say he did just happened in 2013. Because my video claims it starts at 20. No, I never claimed anything in the video started in 2013. I said the video runs from 2012 to 2023. Apparently misspoke and said 2013. But spoiler, if you watch the video, it would be impossible to believe it was all in 2013 since I talk about when he's in G2 and Carmine Corp. So again, I don't buy the idea, but you said it. No, the whole context of the video would make that obvious. And that'd be the gotcha, wouldn't it, you dumb fuck? Get ready, 695 points. Thorin has been a plague on esports for 15 years. I love the way it's only 15 years, by the way. Because you don't know about esports, I don't even get the full status of the 23 years I worked in esports, just 15 apparently. Apparently the first 8 years I was just cool as fuck. There's a reason he's banned from basically every CS event. I'm actually not banned from a single CS event. Did you know that? Actually, I guess in theory you could say PGL doesn't hire me, but I don't know that I was ever banned by them in any context. So he's banned from every... I'm not at all. What happened is, just like with this Rekkles video, where I knew it would be very unpopular, but I have the actual balls to just say the truth and speak truth to power, you know, one of the actual true ideals of journalism. I did the same thing to ESL, and I decided, because ESL stole league spots in their flagship league to just fuck with a rival, and then also now they're owned by the Saudis who cut people's fucking heads off and put you in prison for decades over tweets. Yeah, I'm not going to work with you, and I've publicly said as much, but no, to an evil, degenerate piece of shit, actually the Saudis, me refusing to work with people who cut off their heads, it's the other way around, they don't work with me, even though, by the way, that's an incredibly dishonest statement, because you can't possibly know that. What you do is you just hope that the reason I don't get hired by ESL is because ESL hates me, so you just made that up as a lie on the internet, just said it as if you knew that, even though there's never been a single lick of evidence to even suggest as much. And never on any analyst desk, right, well, ESL owns all of the ESL circuit, now they own Starladder. PGL doesn't work with me over personal beef. Blast, I haven't worked with them since I basically told them to shove it up their arse since they wanted me to stop tweeting. But no, I was banned from every CS event. How is he not banned from YouTube, right? This comment actually has 101 points. They've never seen the video yet, by the way. They want to know how I can be allowed to go onto YouTube with a webcam and just give actual opinions or even report on what people are doing in teams. How is that not banned? Do you understand, by the way, guys, how, you know, when you watch a Hollywood movie and in the movie they show some past time of oppression and tyranny and censorship, and in the movie you're siding with the hero, aren't you? You're the one who goes, this is bullshit, this McCarthyism, this censorship, this persecution of people who... In real life, you're these guys. You understand that, right? You understand the normal pleb isn't the hero. He is the mob that goes against the hero. These are these people. They want people to be censored from all of the internet for having an opinion, or even better, reporting actual provable facts about someone they like that they don't want to hear. They think for that alone, you should be censored off the whole internet. The same person, by the way, would lose their mind if Elon Musk banned someone from Twitter for like good reason. But no. So all of a sudden, how is he even allowed on YouTube? I haven't even vaguely broken term TOS, you fucking dunces. So let's get to that later. This is such a Bates video. The fact that Bates misspelled, I think we could just skip that one right there. Skip that one right there. Oh, by the way, this is good as well. Now, actually, I'll read it because he just lies. He goes, Thorin was muted when Rekkles did role swap. Actually, I was one of the only people in the world to report on shows that I heard when he did the role swap. One, what I heard in this video, which is he lied and pretended he was benched because he was role swapping. He was benched first, then Fnatic, I was told, allowed him to say publicly that he was role swapping to make it seem like it wasn't because they didn't think he was good enough for ADC. They didn't think he was good enough. Secondly, that was then muted when he was in Korea. Actually, I made fun many times of the fact he never made a single final of the Challenge League. You don't even know that because you're all fake fans who didn't even watch his career. But now that LR has clips, has views, he woke up and wants some of that by spreading some hate. What a dog shit comment. 337 points. Someone who goes out of their way to mention my name and say about why does anyone care about me, which in doing so shows you care and you're actually propagating engagement about me. They'll never understand this point, guys. You have to understand. These people would go to a game of Los Ratones versus like Carmine Corp in a massive stadium where I'm not there and I have nothing to do with the game. They would get like 10 of their friends and hold a giant flag saying, fuck Thorin, who even cares what he thinks? Not knowing that in doing so, they're making me more famous, increasing engagement around who I am, and showing they really care what I think. So, as usual, classic cell phone. Why does anyone care what Thorin has to say? If I speak, I'm in so much trouble. You're not, are you? It'd be incredibly popular if you just said something stupid. Like, this guy just lied. It was cool for him. 40-plus-year-old man, child loser. If it makes me a loser to be 40-plus exposing this, what does it make a 25-year-old having fucking temper tantrums and ruining the fucking career of an 18 or 19-year-old guy in an ERL? What does that make him, by the way, while he gets paid a salary higher than the majority of LEC players? Do you know that, by the way? Did you know Rekkles was making so much money in Carmine Corp? He would have been one of the highest paid LEC players. He was actually considered one of the worst players in Carmine Corp by the Carmine Corp players and coaching staff, and he was then using his position to bully and fuck with the 19-year-old player, and then also essentially got his coach fired. Oh, what a cool guy. I notice his age going up into the 25 plus never ever makes him a loser, I notice. It's almost like you guys just support abusive pieces of shit. You know what? I'm not going to say it's almost like you do support abusive pieces of shit. That's who you are. That's who you've chosen as your champion on the internet to represent you. Abusive pieces of shit who abuse teenagers. Oh, no. Is it okay for him to abuse a teenager, though, when he's check notes 25? Oh, it is. Well, that's just fucking convenient. Let me guess, because he got an autism diagnosis. So suddenly none of those things happen to those people, and now their careers are just restored and fine. It's like fucking It's a Wonderful Life. All of a sudden, they're back, and nothing's happened to them because Rekkles had a diagnosis that he said on stream. By the way, just something he said on stream, by the way. That's all we can confirm. Here's a good one. When I was 14, I thought his videos were cool. Right? You should have mentioned that was 2 years ago. And he was a real journalist, right? Get ready, guys. Because I made this video, I'm not a real journalist. Now I can't imagine what I thought was good about any of his content, right? This one video has made him realize every other piece of video I made that was really good, he actually didn't enjoy it. He's retconned the whole thing. I actually hated all those videos. He's also the type of guy to read these comments and be like, they just hate us. By the way, even the way that was written tells you this person probably still got teen in his age, hasn't he? Let's be real. They just hate us. Yeah, it's nothing hating to just actually lie about all my opinions and stuff I never ever said, and then just claim that he was all bullying a guy who was like 16 years old at the time. Funny, innit? Someone sent this grandpa into a nursing home already. 203 points for that, by the way. I can be mean to Thorin because he is ruining my day, which means I can actively try to ruin his. You know, by that logic, everyone can just be toxic to everyone else. Which I know to you, in your fucked brain, makes sense. But you'll never understand how, by your logic, I am then justified to make more videos about Rekkles and you being shitty about me. You'll never get that because you're actually a dunce. I get that. It's all good. What are the chances? 99 points. He brings up stories from 6 to 7 years ago. Lol. People change. Even if there's an ounce of truth to it, I am being charitable here. You're not at all. No one's ever proven in 23 years that I've ever lied even one time on the internet. There's not a single shred of proof anywhere. Not even one time can it be proven I've ever lied. So actually, if there's an ounce of truth, by default, you should assume it's all true. Then second, except technically I did just say it's the opinions of other people, it's cross-referenced. There could be three people lying within a team, obviously. Just very unlikely if you know the method I used. Then he goes, what are the chances he brings up stories from 6 or 7 years ago? Well, I brought up one story from 2023, dickhead. That was already 2 years ago. Then I brought up stories from in 2022, that when he's in Carmine Corp, so that would be, what would that be, 3 years ago. Then I brought up when he was in G2, so that'd be 4 years ago. We haven't even got to 6 yet. Some of the best stories are actually 3 to 5 years ago. But oh no, what a shame. You hoped it would be when he was a teenager so you could dismiss it all. Oh, he was bang right in his mid-20s. Still a complete prick. Millionaire already in the game. Enormous contracts. Oh, everything going for him. Well, people change. Since the year has changed, Rekkles must have changed. But bizarrely, I never change. In fact, I just get worse over the years. I never lie, but I just get worse over the years as these morons and dickheads grow up and become more and more obsessed and fall in love with people on the internet who are video game players. Fuck that 40-year-old weirdo. Remember, Rekkles is a 25-year-old weirdo bullying people in the RLs while making six figures. Man, that sucks so much. Fuck Thorin. As someone with high anxiety, I get Rekkles' reaction. Notice how they never, ever identify with the victim. Have you noticed that? Some of these victims, by the way, are people who've never, ever been rude or caused any drama to anyone in esports. But magically, they are never, ever allowed to be a victim of the behaviour that Rekkles gave them. But me making a video exposing Rekkles' behaviour is incredibly abusive, and I'm to blame for every negative feeling Rekkles has, and he should never even have to feel a negative feeling. Do you not yet see how these people are actually demons? They're actually some of the worst people in esports. In fact, let me just quickly find... Even if it's a nothing burger, it will always be a wave of harassment. Right, so my video was simultaneously a nothing burger, but also incredibly abusive. But then what Rekkles did, which is what I reveal in the video, that's never abusive and never anything fucked up. Somehow that's simultaneously a nothing burger, what he did, but then it's not a nothing burger to point out that he did something that was a nothing burger. Notice how they can't keep us track of it. That tells you they have a guilty conscience. They know it's not a nothing burger, which is why it's harassment. Notice that's the game they're playing. Get ready for how mental this is. I hope Los Ratones / Cadril can step in to help Reki out. In what possible context could they step in and help him out? Oh, don't worry. There's a thread coming later. They actually thought that there was going to be like a massive lawsuit against me for making this video, by the way. That's how mentally ill these fans are. I'm a not overreact until I've seen the video. Well, the comment would have to stop there, but let's just see him overreact. But Thorin is kind of infamous for grudges. Right, pause. Am I? Am I infamous for grudges? What does that imply, though? Because as long as I tell the truth, there'd be no problem then, would there? Being an edgelord, that is somewhat true, but I don't know what would have to do with the truth of what I'm saying, and making jokes / jab / content at the expense of others. You're actually doing that in the comment right now, but as usual, it'll never apply to you. I followed CSGO closely in the early days, and he was just controversy after controversy. Like, let's just name the two most famous ones and pretend like that was every week. Like saying Poland is one of the worst countries and everyone there is racist, right? If you watched it, I'll just leave it up to you again. Did I ever say everyone in Poland is racist? Or did I point out that quite literally and provably at football games, at the time it was in Ukraine and Poland when they were joint hosting the Euros, they used to have actual football league games where if a black player played, they would throw banana skins onto the pitch and do monkey noises. That was still happening in the early 2000s. So did I, by pointing out something racist actually happened, say every Polish person is racist? I didn't know, did I, of course? But let's see what other lies this guy says. Calling a Brazilian team monkeys on Twitter. No, what I did was I made a joke where I implied someone else had called them monkeys. Now, certainly you could say that was racially insensitive, but I never said this team are monkeys. That absolutely would not be what I said at all. The timing of this video seems like it is made because of all the attention Los Ratones is getting. They're actually so mentally ill, guys, that even though Los Ratones is by definition the lowest level League of Legends Rekkles has ever played in his professional career, they're pretending this is the peak of the mountain and that actually I chilled while he was on T1, sat in the room behind them while they're winning Worlds. I chilled while he was on Carmine Corp, one of the biggest ERL teams ever with an enormous fan base. I chilled during all that time because I was waiting for him to hit the peak now, streaming games in NLC, one of the shittest ERLs, on Los Ratones, a scrim team. Yes, I couldn't handle before that he was just playing with bombs like, Hillesang and Mickey X and Wonder and Caps. And then what I had to do is I had to wait till he was playing with Velia, because that really made me mad that he was playing one of the all-time greats like that. All right, mate, whatever you say. Hopefully, Rekkles is okay. Not any of his victims. Fuck all of them. In fact, what I was going to bring up before is, these people you'll find desperately want me to name his victims. You ready for why? So they can go and abuse them and call them lies and ruin their lives too. That's who Rekkles fans are. They're actually a hate mob, desperate for more people to be able to hate on the internet. By the way, let me just give you some food for thought. If tomorrow Perks came out and said, by the way, guys, I've actually just been to a psychiatrist and he's diagnosed me as having autism. And he's actually told me that during all these years, I was actually a high functioning autist. Do you think they'd all go, well, in that case, I feel really bad about saying all those things about Thorin and Peter Dunn's video about Perks. Actually, maybe he wasn't a piece of shit and he's changed as a person. No, they wouldn't do that at all, would they? They'd still say he was subhuman scum who was 10 times worse than Rekkles. I've proven he wasn't and should never be able to work in esports again. But bizarrely, because Rekkles got a diagnosis and said he's changed, he should just get everything. He should be given the whole world. Let's look at some other good ones, though. Let's see. Let's, nuke Thorin. Right. There's two ways you could look at this. You could either just say, this is a comment that wasn't even removed by mods, implying let's just murder me in real life. Or you could just say, let's nuke Thorin in the sense of, and let's face it, this is what they were going to do. Without seeing the video, they're going to go onto the video comments. I'll show you later they did do this. And go onto my Twitter and just nuke me with shitty comments for as much as possible. Don't worry, that is who his fans are. If you don't, by the way, if you think his fans care about online harassment, you are mental. They are the perpetrators of online harassment. They use Discords and coordinate thousands of people to do it at once. Time to rat up. What cage does it mean in your community when people rat up? Because they're seeing it like it's a common sort of phrase which implies you all get together and mob someone. Is that your fan base, cage? Because you told me you hate people making hate content. We'll get to that on one of these videos. Don't worry about that. But bizarrely, you then run a community that as rats up and then hates and nukes people. It's almost like you're just a demagogue, mate. How is Thorin not completely banned just off everything? Like, why aren't I just banned off everything off the whole internet? I mean, I've done something really extreme, right? Oh, wait, I've never done anything fucked up like Rekkles has done. I've just exposed that Rekkles did loads of fucked up things for about 5 to 7 years. Kind of the worst case scenario, this will give Thorin a ton of views. It did. By the way, spoiler, you people did too. Here's a good one. When you have had this long of a career, of course you will have some toxic stories about yourself, especially in team-oriented games. Did anyone say this about Perks? Because what's weird is Perks didn't have these stories in the first years of his career. And he's played a very long time himself. Remember, he only came into the league something like 3 years after Rekkles. Hopefully it ain't more than something in games. No, it wasn't. I actually told you all fucked up stories about things he did to his coaches and how people wanted to bench him and replace him with Forgiven and they already printed Fnatic jerseys. People can reform. I have always loved Rekkles, been watching him and cheered for him since early Fnatic days. Okay. Let's go to another one here. By the way, this is all in pedropeepos, which is Caedrel's dogshit community. So another one. Are you ready, guys? This is another thread before the video was out. Right, I want you to just understand how mental these people are. What this thread is saying, 108 points, it says, unrelated to anything going on at the moment, I'd like to remind people that there is a report button on YouTube in case you ever come across a video that is disturbing or is harassment. Just a friendly little today I learned for you all. Right, understand, Rekkles fans, before they ever saw the video, which they claimed was a nothing burger and nothing in it was going to be true, without seeing the video, which makes it inherently a disingenuous lie to do this, reported the video in their thousands, saying it was extreme harassment and all sorts of different report reasons. They hadn't seen the video yet. Remember, they're the good guys. These are the good guys and the fans of the good guy. This is the behaviour the good guys in the movie would do, right? The good guys would go, what's that? There's going to be an expose saying someone did really fucked up things. Let's lie and say that it's all made up without ever hearing it and get that shit banned. In fact, let's tell you what, guys, if you see anyone selling those newspapers, just burn them on the street. Burn them. Haha, we're the good guys. Haha, we're the good guys. This is the good guys for you. And by the way, in their thousands, they reported that video. It didn't get taken down because thankfully YouTube doesn't listen to dickheads like them. But they did their absolute best. And by the way, if you were a tiny content creator without the subs I have, it might maybe have got your video fucked up. This person does the classic one. Look, this content just isn't needed on Reddit. It doesn't belong here. He comes in and essentially implies we're not going to talk about this. But notice he doesn't delete the thread. He doesn't, because they don't actually want people to not know this. That's a way of letting people know you could just go and report the video incorrectly because fuck rules, right? Just report and move on. Nobody cares about someone who barely reaches 5k views average. And the only way to get traction is to hate on someone. I don't even know this guy. Get ready. To be fair, I only watch LCK and LPL. Why have a comment then, dickhead? So this guy doesn't know me and doesn't watch any of my content, but he agrees you should just report my video that he hasn't seen. Astute observation. By the way, implying like, yeah, let's just go and fucking do this. And the guy's intentionally done this, by the way. He's pretended like he hasn't tagged my video, but it's obviously just on my channel, isn't it? Another good one. This has been removed, sadly, but it's got loads of points of people agreeing. So let me tell you what this said. This was a nutter who explained in mass detail after the video came out how Rekkles should quite literally sue me for harassment and defamation. And that this video was grounds, and that it should either be Rekkles himself or Rekkles' fans should crowdfund it, or Cadril should chip in, and they should all essentially use like they should use the power of wealth to just destroy me financially, whether what I said was true or not. That's who Rekkles fans are, and Cadril fans, by the way. That's the absolute ass cancer AIDS cross hybrid we've created between fucking Cadril fans, the rats, and Rekkles fans, actual rats. 40 points. Don't pay any mind to it, because at the end of the day, all Thorin wants is eyes on his content. If Rekkles wants to take action, that's on him, and all supporters should do is be by his side. Right, so if you like Rekkles, if Rekkles decides, apropos of nothing, to sue me for things that were factually true, you should just be on his side, because, I mean, he's your God, right? So you have to do whatever God says. Please do not bring a bad light to this community and Rekkles' community by doing something stupid. Say the guys who are just agreeing that actually Rekkles can just sue me if he wants to. Here's a good one. I downvoted the video. They're so stupid, they actually think the thumbs down on the video ruins the video. Get ready for what piece of shit this guy is, though. And wrote a politely worded email to Thorin's sponsor saying that I think this association paints them in a bad light. Right, my sponsors shouldn't want to be associated with hero journalists who expose the worst teammates of all time who ruined countless people's careers. That would be a negative association. And by the way, they're going to make it a negative association. Even though it's not, I'm actually the hero in this story. They're going to make it that they're going to boycott and bully you, that if you associate with me, a bunch of really bad people won't buy your product. That's what they're going to do. If you want to follow suit, I highly recommend keeping it civil and reasonable. I also dropped Rekkie a nice message on his Discord, as did many other people. You can report it on you. Oh, another person just report the video in it. My video was bullying and harassment, so just report that. Good stuff, eh? This guy, get ready. This is a hilarious comment right now, by the way, but let's just look at this. I mean, legally, it would be really difficult. What do you mean? No, lawsuits are just something you do when you write, remember, dickhead? If I recall correctly, there would have to be proof that Thorin purposely lied to slander his name in a way that caused damage to brand/likeness. Oh, right. This guy actually understands the basic premise of defamation. Oh, okay. But get ready for this. What's great about this one is why it's not mega voted. You'll notice, guys, is because what he says makes sense. After watching the whole video, I can confidently say that Thorin believes what he's saying. Spoiler, in that case, it wouldn't be defamation, would it? I'm not knowingly doing it to ruin the person's career. And also, second spoiler, they didn't lose 1 red cent because of this. I can't speak on whether any of it is true, and will reiterate for a previous post that the no sources angle is difficult to argue in an expose situation, since that's the function. A source goes to a third party to release information anonymously and avoid the published backlash, which was severe in this case. This guy actually might even just be a neutral, because you notice he's been way too reasonable with how he's framing it. On the reporting for bullying/harassment front, there might be an argument. There is no argument, but it would probably be borderline at best. As for the sponsor emails, not going to lie, don't think that's going to work. I'm a pretty avid CS fan and followed some of the content for a while, and they're most likely sticking with him. Also, side note, he's probably going to farm a bunch of these threads for content. If that's actually a double agent, you don't have to do it here, but if you reveal yourself on my Discord, I might even send you a little gift. That's actually a banger. You've snuck through the defenses there. This is how mental this guy is. I mean, he said so much, it's almost too easy for a legal team to find grounds for defamation charges. These people think it's just a TV show where you just go, tomorrow, let's file the charge. You know how many months, they're just cretins, guys. They've only seen this shit in movies. They don't know anything. They don't know anything about what they're talking about. I don't know what any fans could do about it. Thought Rekkles can try to sue for defamation if he thinks it's worth it. By the way, spoiler, do you not know what happens when you do a lawsuit like that and you lose? You are aware what would immediately happen is I would then countersue for all the damages and he would pay all my legal fees. Like, you do get that, right? Oh, sorry, you didn't watch that part in the movie, so you didn't know that's how it worked. You thought you just make claims like, hey, you're defaming me, and then the judge goes, you didn't win this one. You go, oh, well, no harm, no foul. You fucking cretin. You actual imbecile. Here's a good one. Because they got so desperate that basically anyone who said anything negative about me, no matter if they were a complete nobody, got like insane praise. So I'm going to have to actually look up who the fuck this person is. Who is Happy Chime Noises? Like, is it like a streamer? Let me have a look here. This isn't even someone... Oh, no, to be fair, it's just his Twitter's quite small. Right, apparently it's someone with a YouTuber and streamer. He only has 8,000 Twitter followers, but apparently it says here, I'll double check. It says here he has 200k though. Does he have 200k? Oh yeah, they have 235,000k subs. Let me just quickly check this though. Look, they have 225,000 subscribers. That's pretty good. Now I will say, oh no, it's League. It's actually League. Okay. I thought for a second, because that was like Pokemon or something, and they were doing that shit that you see some small streamers do, where they're actually famous in some obscure game, and they have loads of subs there, and then they do like CS or League content, fuck off. This guy actually has quite a lot of views, okay. He's getting loads of views per episode. I mean, he's only doing them every few months, but it's very respectable numbers. Okay, so this guy, who I've never heard of, to be fair, apparently made this comment. It goes, Happy Chime Noises dropped a comment on the Rekkles video from Thorin. The whole comment section is filled with Rekkles support. It's amazing to see. Much love, Rekkles. We all have your back. They're actually saying much love to a guy who was exposed as being one of the most abusive, shitty teammates ever in esports history. And they're going, much love to you. We support you in everything you did, and you were right. And everyone who was your victim, fuck them. Hell, I wish they all died and got sued and banned. Do you not yet see how evil Rekkles fans are? They're actually really terrible people. As Cadril said, Los Ratones is a family. Yeah, this would be the family where you'd cover up that your uncle like fucking rapes kids or something, you lunatics. The rats included. XDD kiss. So this comment goes, the desperation you have to get more than 5k views on a video. Making someone's life worse just to earn $50. Rekkles just did it for free. Did you know that? Oh, no, sorry, my bad. Rekkles didn't do it for free. Rekkles was paid 6-figure salaries per year, one of the best salaries in European League of Legends, to then make multiple people in his team's lives worse on a daily, monthly, and yearly basis. And some of them, it had an impact on their careers so much, some of them will never hit certain heights or be hired in a certain teams, and they are a laughing stock forever, including among Rekkles fans. And Rekkles fans have then made thousands of shitty comments about them online based on nonsense and lies Rekkles said. So I got $50 to make someone's life worse, a bad person who deserves to have their life be worse, except he didn't even watch the video. Rekkles got paid, millions of dollars to make people's lives worse. So is that a problem? Oh, no, it isn't, because you're a dickhead nobody, well, I can't say you're nobody, you had like 150k views on your videos, to be fair, but whoever you are, I'd never heard of you. And you're just some guy like, hey, I'll just wade in and get some free likes. Hey, what's going on here? Guy I've never heard of in esports before. What a waste of time, shitting on an industry you're meant to love. The irony of some dickhead who just makes YouTube videos about League telling me about how to responsibly behave in the industry of esports. I have forgotten more about esports than you will ever know, you actual clown. The narcissistic diva that no one wants at their events isn't Rekkles, says a guy who's never met me who would have no clue whether people would want me at their events or not. But the logic is, because you like Rekkles and you don't like me, Rekkles is the best guy ever and you are a dumb, stinky lala who no one likes. Like, grow the fuck up, kid. Spend your time reflecting on yourself instead of making this video, and you might one day get a job. Right, someone who makes YouTube videos is telling me that I need to get a job. You know what, mate? Let's just compare bank accounts already. Let's just do it. I'd actually love one of you little pricks to do something like that. I notice you never really have the balls for that sort of shit, do you? The idea I'm the one who doesn't have a job, right? I've made 6 figures per year for I think the last, what would it be now? For the last 10 years. Every single year for the last 10 years, I have made 6 figures in US dollars per year. That's all, by the way, while being independent and doing my own content and then doing multiple jobs, doing esports events on the analyst desk. By the way, I was invited to tons of events, way more events than Rekkles has ever been invited to. I worked world championships, way more Rekkles than Rekkles has ever been involved with. You've never done any of these things, but I was on American TV. Are you American? I have no fucking clue. If you are, by the way, I was literally on the #1 basic cable channel in your country. What have you done? Made Rekkles, made fucking League of Legends videos on the internet, you dickhead. How have you got a job then, you fucking loser? And yeah, Tell you what, you should, instead of making this video, you should reflect on your life, says an arsehole who supports abusers. Yeah, maybe reflect on your life, you fucking melt. And maybe someone should check your fucking hard drive. Let's see how much you really like men fucking abusing children in this context, eh? Hey, pal, should we check that hard drive? The best thing is, I don't even need to worry about leaving this comment, as there are no fans to be mad at me. You gave away your entire lack of integrity right there, mate, because you were actually trying to imply that if any fans would be mad with your comment, you need to be worried about making it on YouTube. Bro, you're a fucking pussy. You're a fucking loser. Oh, I can post this comment where not everyone might agree with me because then I won't get a negative comment or a thumbs down. You lost everyone and still you punched down. No, I lost all the people who side with abusers like you. You know the idea of I'm not punching down? Bro, you will always, in every context, financially, fucking professionally, you will always be below me. Everything I do to you or people like you will always be punching down because you are dog shit. You are detritus. You are algae that floats on the top of the pond. You will always be below me in the food chain. But don't worry, every now and then, just a sort of like a fucking, what would you call it? Fucking innocent bystander getting sprayed down. You're not innocent in this case. There'll be collateral damage where a dickhead like you might just get sprayed down as I'm taking care of the others. But aside from that, you'll always be below me. Don't worry about that. By the way, notice by his logic, by his own logic, I don't have a job. I can't even get 5k views. I get $50 a video. I'm desperate. Notice that's never him punching down though. Have you ever noticed that? He can never be punching down. Somehow he's punching up, but he's above me. Doesn't make sense really, does it, mate? 593 points. Honestly, he's just looking for engagement. Yeah, that'll be why I didn't put loads of my own opinions in the video. By the way, I could have made that video 10 times more spicy with my opinions about Rekkles. What about things I've heard that I hadn't even confirmed? That'd be fucking fire. As I've said, I know the reason Rekkles will never address me publicly about that video. I implied it in the video. There's much worse things I could say. It's just the thing is they're in his personal life. So as long as he doesn't ever cross the line of going into my personal life, there's no problem. Then it can just stay off in Pandora's box and never be opened. That's okay with me. I don't even know Rekkles the person. He hasn't done anything actually illegal as far as I'm aware. So I'm not here to fuck up his personal life. I notice they still don't get that though. What would I be threatening if I didn't have any information? Let's just not engage with the rage bit at all as a community so the video dies. Right, let's just check how that video just went and died there, guys. I mean, don't worry. They all commented, upvoted each other's comment in a massive literal circle jerk, made 1 million comments and threads on it, and so at the end of it all, logically, they must have just let the video just completely die with no information at all, right? Let's just have a quick look. What's it at now? Just the 304,000. Okay, my bad. Wait there a second. Just 304,000 views on the video. So I think we've sort of seen the level of integrity there. By the way, that means all of them watched it. After all these comments and fucking, methinks the lady doth protest, they all watched the video. In fact, they must have watched it multiple times. How do you even get the views that high? That's fucking crazy numbers. Just entered the video to dislike it. You fucking dunce. That still counts as a view. Click the video. Get ready. Didn't watch the video at all. They're proud. They're upvoting this. They clicked the video, didn't watch it, disliked it, and reported it as hateful or abusive content and harassment or bullying. Then get ready, because this is true. Yes, and open a few of his most recent videos to dislike those too. Make sure to use an ad blocker, right? Literally, this is not a joke. I'll show you in a future video. They went back 2 weeks and every other video, interview with Quick Shot, video about Counter-Strike. They took all those videos, thumbs all of them down, put abusive comments in all of them because they're the good guys. Remember, guys, this is the behaviour of good people supporting a really good person like Rekkles. No, what it is absolutely a reflection on Rekkles, who he is and the fan base he has. They have always been really horrible people, but the difference is they're cry bullies. As they're bullying you, they cry that you're the one doing it to them and that you're making them do it to you because that's how shitty these people are. They're not only bullies, they've convinced themselves they're the heroes and the victims and that what they're doing is a good thing. It's a good thing to abuse people and to be shitty and to lie. By the way, lie at every opportunity you can if it's in favour of someone you like. If you don't like someone, just lie that the video's full of abuse. Don't ever watch it. Why would you need to do that? That would be some sort of level of integrity. Don't even watch the video. Just report it as, just say it's all full of lies. Say it's fucking hate speech. You know what? Saying it, he starts reading from Mein Kampf. There you go. Just say that 4 minutes in, he starts. I didn't, of course, but hey, maybe someone corrupt behind the scenes won't know and they'll just ban the video. Why is this guy even allowed to have an opinion on the internet if I don't like him? I think we're sort of getting a sense of who Rekkles fans are here, boys. Let's see. You can report without opening. Right, guys, let's report a video none of us have ever seen. This isn't even true, by the way, that you get no discoverability if you do this. It's the opposite. You all saw every Rekkles video I did since then because you saw this one, you dumb fucks. There's a good one. I do agree to an extent, but the situation's a little different. This isn't just against a person who can shrug it off. Right, Rekkles, who is literally, we're just going to look this up now, because they're going to pretend the whole fucking time that he's like 13 now, by the way, guys. They're going to actually pretend he is a little baby rabbit that they must protect. So let's look up how old fucking Rekkles is right at this moment. So as of today, he is fucking 28 years old man who has worked in the esports industry for like 10 fucking years or something mental at this point in time. No more. What would it be? I think it would be something like 12 years at this point. He's worked in esports. He's a 28-year-old man. But no, he's not just someone who can shrug it off. No reason why. I guess because he's just God himself. Rekkles was clearly distraught. He should be. He was a very horrible person to people for many, many years, and he still got away with it now. He deserves to feel that way and much more. And you could tell he wasn't in a good place when just talking about it. You couldn't tell that. You just implied that based on like a few seconds you saw on camera. And even though the chance of there being literally anything that wasn't known to the public in that video is very small, right, just to check this, guys. So without seeing the video, they knew that the chance of there being anything that wasn't known to the public is very small. But simultaneously, it's all a hate video, lies, I need to reveal my sources, but why? It's all known to the public. By the way, if you actually watched that video, this is how bad the gaslighting was. They told you, everyone knew those stories. You already told those stories on past shows. I didn't, hence why they didn't go mental before. What I actually did was drop a video, unironically, with something mental, like 40 stories, where each story on its own could have been like a crazy fucking banger segment on a talk show. I put like 40 stories all in one video. And that's without minor things like when he just wouldn't play certain champions or behind the scenes he was like fucking manipulating someone. I'm talking about stories in scrims, refusing to play champions, fucking up the draft on stage, almost getting benched behind the scenes. They're trying to replace him with like toxic players, fucking a million things over, being shitty at boot camp. I did a million stories, but let's pretend simultaneously there was nothing that wasn't already known, but it's also all made up and it's also all just hate content and totally lies. Funny how this works, isn't it? It's not going to change how much it affects him, right? So logic is, it's all known already, but it being mentioned again will now really affect Rekkles negatively, so it should never be mentioned. Why the fuck do we have to care about the criminal, by the way, in this scenario? In this analogy of if it was a crime? This isn't something he's just going to walk away from and go back to dogging people in scrims. Maybe he shouldn't. Maybe he should actually fucking pay some sort of a penance for what he has done. So regardless of the engagement, him potentially being able to see the amount of support that people have for him in numerous places can only work to help his situation. Yeah, what it'll do is it'll make a really horrible person think they were justified in being horrible, and actually the world loves that they're a horrible person. In fact, they're horrible people and they're on his side. In fact, they're even saying, by the way, this is probably the one negative to come out of this, is now no pro player almost ever will ever comment on the negative things Rekkles has done. Now, luckily, they don't need to. I've already done the metaphorical kill shot and I've just nailed the whole thing like a fucking, I told you it's one of my magnum opus pieces in my career. But now no pro will ever speak out because they know the abuse you'll get. So in that sense, Rekkles is actually being empowered to be even more abusive in the future. Now we can get away with it because you idiots just will let him off with murder in this analogy. Obviously, it's still engagement farming. Yeah. Every time anyone does something you don't like, it's just engagement farming. There's never any other value to it, you fucking imbecile. But I don't think the supportive comments are a bad thing. They're actually a very bad thing. They show that you support bad people because you're a bad person fundamentally and your parents failed you. Get ready, guys. They hadn't even seen the video. Currently, it is still waiting to premiere, so he gains nothing. Right? Is this real, guys? So this guy wrote this comment before he even saw the video himself. They all wrote these comments before the video was ever seen by any of them. Did Rekkles stole his lunch money or something? There's no reason for a grown-ass man to hate on a guy just trying to be better and have fun with his friends. That he wasn't doing those things, you dickhead. Did the video start out like Rekkles was just a cool guy who was trying to be better and have fun with his friends, but then I got mad he stole my lunch money or fucked my mum, so I just made up a load of stories that are nothing burgers and you already all knew, and besides, everyone was bad back then, plus he has a diagnosis now and he is better, but at the same time, he never did any of that. He's just a good guy trying to be better and have fun with his friends. What friends? I pointed out, like, the majority of people who played with him fucking disliked this guy at a minimum, if not openly despised him. Some of the kindest people I ever heard of who played with this guy and worked with him called him an actual sociopath, for fuck's sake, and told me some wild shit about him with fans, by the way. Nothing sexual. I wouldn't even imply that. The reason is because his name is Thorin. Right, so because my alias is Thorin, that's why I made this video. Not the first time he's done this to people in a desperate and sad attempt to stay relevant. Who else have I lied and made up a bunch of shit about to stay relevant? Oh, no one ever. That's why no one's ever been able to prove I lied. Funny. Dude got his name forgotten in CS scene. The idea I'm forgotten in CS is hilarious. If you don't know, I get hundreds of thousands of views every single week just from CS content. Just from CS content alone. But no one even knows me in CS. I decided to go back to... I've never left CS for 1 second, by the way. I've covered every single big tournament ever in the game in some capacity. But I've gone back to League. League's the game I was in less than CS. To harass... I haven't harassed anyone. Literally, all he does is talking shit. Nobody has made more content that isn't about talking shit and opinions than me in esports history. But no, all I do is talk shit about Simple, Device, and Fallen. Yeah. That'll be why Simple has appeared on my channel, Fallen has appeared on my channel. Device actually wouldn't, but that was the famous deleted episode of Count Points in the early days. Also, Simple has an intro to my channel, Device has an intro to my channel, Fallen was even on my Instagram a couple of years ago. Funny how that works, isn't it? Thorin just tried to climb out of irrelevancy with this one at the cost of the mental health of a person. Notice how Rekkles' behaviour and the cost it took on other people's mental health will never factor in these people's brains. Essentially, they seem like they're talking about the idea that if my behaviour makes one person feel really bad, it's unacceptable. But Rekkles' behaviour can make dozens of people feel really bad, sometimes on a daily basis. It can make them question who they are, enter depression, lose their job, get their salary cut, get benched, have to leave all of these things happen, and it never ever is negative towards Rekkles because something autism, something people change, something Los Ratones, he was cool in T1, something. I have never seen Happy Chime Noises say something even close to this level of dislike. Had he even watched the video? Dang, you know you messed up when you bring out the angry chime noises. I mean, this might be the most mental logic ever. For real, if you make a genuinely nice person... Right, by the way, because he makes YouTube videos and you like him, he's now a genuinely nice person. Have we learned nothing from this entire thing? Like, by the way, there are people in other esports games who've been outed as actual sex pests who were considered some of the nicest people in the community. Some of the most professional people, some of the most charming, some of the most eloquent, some of the most sophisticated people in the scene. They were outed as actual sexual predators. But no, because you like a guy's YouTube videos, he's a genuinely nice guy. And therefore, if he ignorantly just decides my video's shit, who he knows nothing about the behind the scenes of Rekkles' career, that means that I'm definitely bad. And get ready, I'm an absolute detriment to society. By the way, when you make a comment like I'm a detriment to society, you are absolutely implying I should be put in prison or possibly killed. I hope if you don't understand that, then you don't even understand the significance of words. Because the question would be, what would society want to do with detriments to society? At a minimum, you'd force them into rehabilitation. At a more extreme example, you would quarantine them from all of society, and at the most extreme, you'd just kill them, wouldn't you? So that's what they're already implying, because I made a video exposing what a piece of shit Rekkles is. They need really strong incentive to say things like that, right? It's not just that he's a stupid shithead who in his own comment admitted that the reason it was easy to make the comment is he didn't have to worry about anyone disliking his comment. That alone shows he's not a good or a nice person. He judges whether or not he can worry about making a statement of fact about his thoughts on the internet based on whether enough people will like it or not. He is by definition a fucking shill and a piece of shit. Congrats, he's a wanker, chime noises guy. Enjoy. Dickhead. Clout chaser. This goblin trying to get a piece of the Los Ratones hype train. Yeah, that'll be why I didn't publish this, by the way. Like, when he first joined T1, when it would have blown up 10 times bigger. No. I just waited till he was on the greatest team of all time. Los Ratones of the NLC. Thorin's video is getting super free marketing from this. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't think anything positive will come from him for this. I've already made thousands of dollars off it. I'm going to probably make 1 million views of it. I'm going to make at least $2,000 just from this video and all the follow-up videos. He's just grasping at straws to become relevant again by being an asshole, which he's making more and more obvious to everyone. All right, cool. Here's a good one. I would put in a complaint to his sponsor, Supps. Right, so now, because I've exposed Rekkles being an abusive teammate, you should now go to Supps, a company I work with, and tell them you'll never buy their product if they give me money, in the hopes that the only change in the world is I'll just get less money and not be able to feed my family. Because remember, this is the actions of the good guys. These are good people, and this is reflective of who they're a big fan of. Rekkles. Yeah, he's an abusive piece of shit who tries to ruin people's careers too. Well, actually, you are following after your leader. You're right. Respectfully, of course. This is as important as report. Right, so it's actually important that you report the video before you see it and lie to all my sponsors that you'll never buy their products. Just explain the situation and issues for their brand as a consumer yourself, how it impacts your purchasing decisions, etc. Do you know what's so disingenuous about this, by the way? The way that the Supps affiliation program works is you only make money if they use your code. We are aware Supps uses loads of other people in esports, like Doublelift, etc. I Will Dominate, I think at one point in time, maybe. I'm not sure if LS was. So the joke is you could already just go and buy their product through those people who'd already have the same effect. But no. You actually really hope that if enough of you lie that you'll never buy this product in any context because they work with me, that they'll just stop giving me money. Because again, that's who these are the good guys. This is what the good guys do. How associating with a personality, Thorin, which aims for sensationalism through drama, they haven't even seen the video yet. The video that 2 minutes in I explain, none of this is my opinion. But they're just going to lie about what the video contains, about what the impact is on the world, and therefore lie to everyone who gives me any money in the world. Without any public sources or evidence. Right. As a journalist, you should report any story you don't like where they don't make public who their sources are. That's the actual standard Los Ratones and Rekkles fans are establishing for journalism now. Any story in the world, say there's a story comes out, someone sexually harassed someone, unless that woman comes forward publicly and names herself, she should then have all her career ruined and never have a sponsor. That's the logic that we're going off here, by the way. The video is sponsored by Supps in the bottom right corner. It literally wasn't. Linking their brand image directly to the issue. Such long-term, decade-old harassment, right? So when I talk about Rekkles being a piece of shit in 2022 and 2023, that's decades-old harassment in a video they didn't watch. Here's the email, here's the Instagram, by the way, don't worry, they did their worst. They did their absolute worst to all my sponsors. They do every single, by the way, this isn't new. They've been doing this for 10 years. Understand that. For 10 years, Rekkles fans are so shitty that essentially, I'll just speculate right now. I think if Rekkles was actually credibly accused of sexual assault, they would do this to any woman who publicly accused him of it. This is what they would do to a woman who did that. If she worked in esports in any context or online, they would mob like any company she worked for, any school she worked for, any group she was associated. They would actually mob it and then do the same behaviour. Because this behaviour isn't based on whether what you're saying is right or not. It's based on a threat that we ourselves will negatively impact your business if you don't do what we say now. Do you know what that is? That's economic terrorism. That's what these people are engaged in. Because Rekkles fans are economic terrorists. They're really shitty human beings who economically terrorize other people unless they bow down to Rekkles and allow him to continue to abuse people and be super shitty to them. That's who Rekkles fans are. I reported his video and his profile page for harassment because that's what he's doing. It is actually against the YouTube community guidelines. Bizarre, the video didn't get taken down then, isn't it? I tagged this gamer Supps company on shitter. They shouldn't support toxic shit like that. Seems like a really cool guy. Rats, let us nuke the fuck out of that video. It keeps going on, of course. Oh yeah? You and whose army? Well, how about the Skrilluminati for one? They're the people who support my content. This video was kindly supported by The Concept, Matt, Pugnatio, Rajcula, Thorin, Jensen Goh, Tosh, Jasun, Banediesel, Animosity, and you know it, everyone does. A special thanks goes out to my main man, Jerky's Minion, for the long-term support. Do you want to ask a question for my AMA videos? Would you like teasers? Find out what upcoming guests I've got? You want to suggest a topic or a guest? Maybe you want to be part of one of those 1 hour lengthy online discussions I do where the topics are set by you. Well, if any of these perks or more tickle your fancy, I think you know what to do by now. Put your money where your mouth is and join the Skrilluminati, where Patreon link in the description below.